And the title of this mini podcast is Solid Things Aren't Solid. Solid as a rock is an old expression. It's also an old song. But the idea of solid itself, that might be more of an illusion. One that sometimes helps us and hurts us at other times. We get hurt when we bump into solid things. We get helped when we discover they may not be as solid as we think. If scientists look at an object through a powerful electron microscope, its solidity pretty much disappears. A simpler version of this is what happens when you put a magnifying glass over an old newspaper photo. Up close, the image isn't solid at all. It's a bunch of dots and space. There's even a theory that nothing is truly solid. I think Einstein flirted with that idea. It's an assumption worth playing with, even if you can't prove it yet. Here's my take. What if electrons, photons, quarks, and all the rest aren't solid in any real sense? What if they're more like shadows of energetic activity that only appear solid because of how we're looking at them? What if everything is really nothing? Now, everyone's entitled to a wacky theory. Even Columbus's geography was once considered one. So let's pretend, just for a moment, that this idea is accurate. How would it help you? Think about this. Every man-made thing began as nothing more than an idea. There's no microscope that can capture an idea. My guess is there never will be. Yet out of that nothing, something shows up. It didn't exist, and poof, then it did. The problem is, we treat the ideas in our heads as solid. We build useful things with them, but we also build walls of disconnection. We decide that if something is this, it can't be that. Our labels won't allow it, but beneath those labels is a shared nothingness that makes this and that far more connected than we think. Solid implies separation. If something is solid, it needs its own space, right? Two solid things can't occupy the same space, so they stay isolated from one another. And that's exactly what we do as people. We divide, and then we wonder why we feel conquered. When we go looking for the solid things that make us different, we stop noticing the invisible things that make us the same. Our search criteria keeps us apart. Author Eckhart Tolle offers us a blunt reminder. When someone says they have nothing in common with another person, he points out that in a matter of years, they'll both be corpses. Maybe it's useful to arrive at that realization before you die. That you came from nothing and you're returning to nothing. When nothing is the only thing there is, connection becomes easier. There's room for everything when we're not so solid. Solid ideas and rigid beliefs develop rigor mortis long before the body does. That stiffness doesn't allow for flexibility, curiosity, or connection. Solid is the Monroe Doctrine. Nothing is infinite law. So here's a little scientific homework that might help us all. Take a look inward. Use your own microscope. Start noticing how your idea of solid is filled with holes. And the more holes you find, the more connections you'll make. You may even discover that you can make nothing out of something. All the best, John.